As Alan strolled through the wooded expanses surrounding his home, he stumbled upon an old abandoned car. Yet, what caught his attention were recent footprints encircling it, and to his astonishment, he uncovered his daughter's cherished doll within. Suddenly, an unexpected presence drew uncomfortably near. Residing in Hood River, Oregon, Alan found solace in extended woodland walks near his abode. He relished the tranquility of cherry picking and birdwatching, which offered him a unique kind of serenity. Despite being a solitary pursuit, the woods seemed to provide more company than his home ever could. Then, on an ordinary day, his routine trek led him to an unfamiliar trail, unveiling an abandoned car nestled within the forest. This discovery struck him as peculiar. The surroundings were far from conducive for vehicular passage. The car itself appeared antiquated and weathered, suggesting years of abandonment. Driven by an unexplained curiosity, he approached it, sensing an urge to unravel its mysteries. As he neared the car, he observed fresh footprints, hinting at recent activity. It dawned on him that perhaps someone was utilizing this car as their dwelling. Near the vehicle were some shoes, clothes, and the remains of a fire. "Yeah, someone definitely lives here." He nodded and looked inside the car for a closer inspection. He was about to leave, go home, and call the police, but something caught his attention. Inside the car was a doll. Usually, this wouldn't be a problem. However, this toy was unique. It wasn't from a store, and only one person in the world could have it: Susan's daughter. It was her doll. His ex-wife, Laura, had made it especially for their daughter. She even had a tag with Susan's name and addressed in case she lost it, because their little girl liked to take it with her everywhere. But why is he here? Alan asked in complete shock. Alan hadn't heard from his wife or daughter in months. Their divorce was not pretty, and Laura was awarded full custody of their child. Alan didn't want to hurt his child by fighting for more visitation and taking her mother to court, so he accepted and tried to move on with his life, knowing that Laura was at least a great mother. They lived in Seattle, so it was a bit far from them. Laura kept their house, and they were supposed to live happily there. But did someone steal her daughter's doll? What happened? He tried to open the car door, which was a bit stuck, but finally succeeded and grabbed the doll. He confirmed it was Susan's toy because of the tag and looked around the forest, feeling lost. Did something happen to his daughter? Why didn't Laura call them? Alan looked inside the car, rummaging through the dirty and discarded items inside, but stopped when he heard a voice. "What are you doing?" A female voice surprised him, but he immediately realized who was speaking: Laura. Alan stood up from the car and looked at his ex-wife, who was tightly holding their daughter's hand. It looked disheveled, and Laura was almost scared. But the little girl took his attention away from his ex-wife's face as she recognized him. "Daddy," she shouted and came to hug him. He bent down to hug his daughter, giving her the doll and smiling at her. "Hi, sweetheart. Did you come after us, Daddy?" the little girl asked, and Alan nodded, though he had no idea what she meant. "Laura, what's going on here?" Alan asked after standing back up. She looked around, seemingly ashamed of herself, and spoke directly to Susan. "Honey, why did we get in the car for a minute? I need to talk to Daddy." Their daughter complied, and Alan closed the car door gently as he got in, then looked at his wife. "Okay, what's going on?" he asked again, his hands raised slightly to his sides. Laura pursed her lips, crossed her arms, and her face showed a deep pain that Alan had never seen. This was not the strong but stubborn woman he had known. Something was going on with her, and she needed to know. "Laura, you know you're always safe with me. We're divorced, but you're the mother of my child. Tell me, please," Alan comforted, speaking more softly so Susan couldn't hear anything. Finally, he began to speak. "My boyfriend, well, ex, the one I left you for, changed as soon as we got married. It was hell, but I took him in. It was a disaster. Well, he kicked us out of the house, and we've been here for a few weeks now." Alan raised a frustrated hand to his forehead. "What? He kicked you out? How is that possible? Did you call the police?" "He threatened me and Susan, so I had to leave immediately. I didn't care about our things," continued Laura, tears streaming down her face. "Why didn't you call me?" Alan asked, pained that his ex-wife and daughter had been sleeping in an abandoned car for weeks. "I was ashamed, okay," she lamented quietly. "I didn't want to call you, especially since we split up after I met him, and I was so cruel to ask for full custody of Susan. I didn't know how to face you." I was such an idiot. I'm so sorry, Alan." He rushed to her and hugged her tightly. Susan saw them and pushed the door open to join the embrace. "I want a hug too, Mummy," she said in her little voice. In that heartfelt moment, while cradling these women in his embrace, Alan reached a resolute choice. They would never endure solitude again. With determination, he brought them into his home and engaged a legal expert. Through the lawyer's intervention, Laura's husband was ousted from their property by the police, and divorce proceedings were set in motion. Once the intricate legalities were navigated, Laura concluded that the house, laden with painful memories stemming from her past mistakes, should be sold. Reassuringly, Alan extended an open invitation for them to stay as long as needed. Laura, expressing her remorse incessantly, rekindled her passion for crafting dolls. In her workshop, she meticulously created 2 figurines, one mirroring her likeness and the other emulating Alan. Their names adorned these dolls, and Susan cherished the trio, a poignant emblem of their reunited family. Over time, Alan and Laura's shared moments kindled anew the flames of love, culminating in their remarriage. The wedding saw Susan as the radiant flower girl, embodying the unbreakable bond that had been reforged. Their family stood as an unshakable unit from that point onward, eternally shielded from separation.